How about a moment from the board of direction? Okay, so over the course of ministry, people have asked and emailed, and they want to know, as if we can come up with a definitive answer, but how can they tell that they have Christ in their heart? How can they tell that they're growing in the faith? How can they tell that that God really has a place in their life? And so what is about to follow is just an example of one of the ways that you might see yourself as you might see evidence of growing in Christian maturity. It's just one simple example that I pull from my own life, and it just will help illustrate to you, possibly, when things like this happen, that you are growing as a Christian. And I take it from some real life experience of driving a truck for my dad and brother's plumbing supply company back in the day. So imagine for a moment that you have for a year tried to get a very important job interview, and you have that job interview, and prior to it you decide to go to a restaurant, and so you pull into a dead end, and this is your car, these are cars, and you pull into this, and then you walk out and you go to a restaurant up here. And you're at that restaurant, and you're meeting with a friend, but you have to get to this appointment that is really a premium job, and you've really tried hard to get there. But while you were in the appointment, let's suppose that a large tractor, not tractor trailer truck, but a large truck. This is the front of it. This is the first trailer. And he's trying to pull into a dock across the alley. Here's the dock. And this is his situation, is he gets stuck. It's such a tight place. He pulls in here to try to maneuver, but he's pulled all the way he can to this end. He can't pull forward anymore to get it past this point. Every time he backs up, it comes into this corner. He can't get the thing straightened out. You come out from lunch, and there's no way you're going to get your car out. You can't do it. And this guy, he's really, really stressed and working at it. Well, other people come out and they are all yelling at the guy because they have places to go and they want out. And so he's under a lot of stress. You've got the guys in the dock, they're coming out and they're standing there yelling at him. And everybody is on this guy's case, but nothing seems to work. Now, initially, the flesh in some people would scream, threaten, call the trucking company, call the guy names, throw a tantrum. That's what our flesh does. Okay, so many people wouldn't go that route, but you have a really important thing coming up within 10 minutes and you're not going to get there. A spiritual person might try to breathe deep and try to, namaste their way over back to the restaurant and just peacefully meditate while they try to unhitch the trailer and move it out and do whatever they can to finally get this truck out of the place. And this is from things I've seen and even experienced as a truck driver in LA with my dad's company. It's really tough when you get stuck. So stay with me. A true Christian. Now remember, I say true, that's an important word. From the heart might, here's an example, see the stress that this truck driver is under. And you might then not care about what you have to do, even though it's so important, and you might step in and do all you can to try to help this guy and his situation. Even though what's happening in your life is really, really important, you might not go the flesh route. You might not go the I'm just going to go and just meditate route. You might step away from your own issue of needing to get to that appointment and actually try to help this person because he or she is in a really difficult situation and no one else is there to help. So we talk about placing others first in the faith. We talk all about it. But that's only really important when you have something that is really important to you that you sacrifice on the altar for another person. When that happens in you, when you start to see that you care about that other person, even though it's really not convenient, this is a good indication that God is starting to work through your Christian maturity. Now, it takes a long time, and the next day you might be one who's in the flesh. But when you see examples of something overcoming you, and you don't just go to the flesh or don't just escape through some means, but you actually are feeling for the other person ahead of your own needs, that's a great indicator that God is working through you. And your maturity, this is what we're talking about, as a Christian, is growing.